This is the story behind a song called Daylight, which was one of the first songs that I had of any prominence. Co-wrote it with Bobby Womack, and how this came about was my brother my brother Larry Payne, back in the day used to work for McCall's magazine, and he also had his own magazine called Where It's At magazine. And he did a story on Bobby Womack because we were fans, and met his assistant, Gene Bond. And he ran into Bobby up in the Bay Area, and he said, "Oh, my brother's a songwriter," and all this stuff. And Bobby goes, "Yeah, right, I hear that story about 18 times a day." But he said, he mentioned that he had done this, free ad for him in his magazine. And then the coup de grace was Larry knew that Bobby liked to cook, so he slipped a cooking magazine, underneath his door at the hotel room, and that sealed the deal. And so Bobby said, "I'm looking for something new, something different to hang out with." So Larry called me and said, "Get up here now." So I flew up to San Francisco, and I was waiting at the door. I had my tape recorder, I had lyrics, I had my guitar with me, and I'm sitting out at this door of the studio, and the meters were there with some of the finest session players ever. And a parade of people started coming in the door, and I met Bobby at the door, and he said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, let me see what you got." I showed him some lyrics. He goes, "I like these. Come on in." It was the Pointer Sisters, Wah Wah Watson, Herbie Hancock, and all these, and the Meters, all these incredible players on this date. I'm sitting there trying to act cool like I belong. So Bobby laid down this track with the players, and he had an idea for the chorus. And he said, "I'll be home in a couple days. Let's see what you can do." So I came home, and at that time I was living in a place with my brother Chris and our roommate Gary, and we had this house. It was kind of a notorious party house. This was a long time ago, of course. And so it just really was, the lyric took on, the story of really what went on often at that house. And it meshed well with what Bobby had in mind, and so we got together, and Bobby and I have been writing together ever since. And he recorded it. It was his biggest single in a long time, and reached the top 5 on the Billboard charts. Right after Bobby recorded it, was recorded by Vickie Sue Robinson. It was her follow-up single to Turn the Beat Around. And then it was recorded by Leon and Mary Russell, Leon Russell, on their wedding album. And several other people did the song, Georgie Fame from England, and a lot of other people did it. But that's where it all started. And then, flash forward to 2008, it was just recorded by Kelly Rowland from Destiny's Child. And on her, they're going to reissue her album, Ms. Kelly. And it's going to be the new single, and it's also in a movie called Asterix at the Olympic Games. It's a European movie. Just goes to show that you never know. You send them out there, and you never know when they're going to come back and be good to you again.